The Tory MP said it is petty of the European Union to threaten to cut Britain out of the Galileo satellite program despite a £1 billion financial contribution to the project. Speaking to Express.co.uk, Mr. Jones said, "We are a major contributor to the Galileo project. We have made a major financial contribution, but most importantly we have made a big intellectual contribution to Galileo." The EU has claimed Britain would no longer be allowed to collaborate and use the satellite system because of perceived security threats to the program after Brexit. "It's really rather petty and spiteful of the EU to decide that we shouldn't continue to contribute," David Jones, the former Brexit minister, continued. "I think that the decision to exclude us is spiteful, vindictive and, frankly, exemplifies a lot of what is wrong with the European Union now. As you know, the UK has decided it is going to build its own rival to Galileo. I have no doubt that we can do it, and we can do it very successfully, but it is really rather petty and spiteful of the EU to decide that we shouldn't continue to contribute to that program, despite contributing around £1 billion to the £8.5 billion costs of the project, which when fully operational will rival the US government's Global Positioning System (GPS). Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier suggested the UK faces being cut off after leaving the bloc next year. Brexit news. David Jones said it would be petty to exclude Britain from Galileo after Brexit. Image, Getty. Daily Express. The UK Space Agency announced in August the launch of a £92 billion feasibility study on an alternative system to Galileo. Prime Minister Theresa May said in a statement, "We've been clear that the UK wants to remain involved in the EU's Galileo satellite program, but we cannot be an end user, shut out from security discussions and contracts, and without critical information about the system's security. Use of something we are unable to rely on has little value, and we cannot justify paying towards that," she added. "So unless we receive assurance that we can collaborate on a close basis in the future, like the close security partners we aspire to be, we are clear that we will withdraw UK support for Galileo and pursue our own sovereign satellite system, and this is not an idle threat to achieve our negotiating objectives." Galileo is also likely to be more expensive for the EU without the UK being involved, according to a satellite expert, Alan Smith. Professor Alan Smith also said the UK provides essential parts to the project. Referring to Europe continuing the Galileo project without the UK, Professor Smith told Express.co.uk, "It would be more expensive to do it that way. I think that's probably the case because there's the track record of the UK's contribution to Galileo, the European space satellite sector. They would reconfigure, rearrange themselves after Brexit in some way, and they would develop the capability in Europe if they haven't already got it."